Welcome to Flyshikis TV. We're the only Afro media channel that is focused on unifying Africans and people of the diaspora. We do this by positively highlighting all talents from our culture. The community is so rich and vibrant that we're bringing you all the exclusive interviews pertaining to history, entertainment, fashion, life, and so many more. Click the like button, share, turn your notifications on, and experience culture through us. Peace.
Okay. Welcome to Flyshikis TV. I'm your boy Flood, the Alkaline Investor. Today we have here Dr. Ma'a, and she's here to kind of give us an understanding of different topics and different things and different questions that we kind of have came up for her to answer. I keep hearing you reference like having centers that are like African themed or African based to kind of like give people an understanding of their history as somebody who doesn't actually live or even have an understanding of some sort of African culture where they come from. My question is then, what's your understanding and what's your take on foundational Black Americans, and do you consider yourself one?
Well, by definition, I am one. I mean, given the definition of foundational Black Americans,
yeah,
I am a foundational Black American, right? Like I was born and raised here in America. My family from down south. My family's from Sumter County, South Carolina. And so when you talk about FBA or ADOS, I mean, I consider myself just an African. I consider myself an African woman, yes. But just like in Africa, you have different tribes. You have different tribes. You have Ashanti, you got Igbo, you got Bamaliki, you have Zulu. It's different. I don't even want to say tribes, but different ethnicities. Even though they're African, you have different tribes, different ethnicities in the under the Pan-African umbrella. And so arguably, we can't act like African American people we've been over here for over 400 years. I mean, if you go back to 1526, you want to say 1526, so 500 years almost that we've been here. So arguably, we have become a distinct ethnic group, no different than Yoruba, no different than Igbo, no different than Ashanti, no different than Bamaliki, no different than any of those other ethnicities. But what I find strange is that people can't accept that. It's like, the African American is supposed to just say, "Oh, we're just African," and just leave it alone. We're not supposed to have an identity, and that's the issue that I have. I am an African first and foremost, but I do belong to an ethnicity that falls underneath the umbrella, right, of African ethnicity. So, like I said, just like you have Igbo and all of these Igbo and Yoruba and all of that, then you have the African American. We're just another tribe within the Pan-African community, but it seems like a lot of people can't accept that. But by definition, am I a foundational Black American? I am absolutely a foundational Black American by definition. I was born and raised in America. My mother, my father, born and raised in America. We can trace our lineage all the way back to the plantation. So my father's side, his side came from Maryland Eastern Shore, where they would bring slave ships into Maryland Eastern Shore. And so, and then my grandfather on his side migrated to Baltimore, and then she met my grandmother who came from North Carolina, had my father. Then on my mother's side, both of her parents came from Sumter County, South Carolina. We remember that the slave ships came into Charleston, right? South Carolina. And then my family ended up migrating, going upward, which ended up settling in Sumter County, South Carolina. So by definition, I'm absolutely, an FBA, ADOS, African American, whatever you want to call our tribe. There's so many labels. There's so many labels out there now. People say you're African American, you're FBA, you're ADOS, but whatever the term is that says, hey, you were born and raised in America and you've been here for over 500 years. You are literally the descendants of the ancestors who came from Western Central Africa and who were brought here against their will, and you end up landing here. You worked on plantations from Kansas to Kansas. You fought in every war. You were a part of the you know, Reconstruction. You were a part. That is that is FDA. I'm sorry, FDA.
Yeah.
That is ADOS. You know,
Yeah.
fought in every war. Was here through every era. Chattel slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, civil rights, Black Power movement, mass incarceration, drug.
Right.
That is the FBA. That is the
Right.
foundational Black American.